it's your last time. This is the last time you're going through it. We got to play a 60-minute game together. Call it up. Let's bring it.
The Skip Holtz era at the University of Connecticut
Hey, let's go.
was launched in the fall of 1994 against two nationally regarded programs from the South, Nicholls State of Louisiana and Troy State from Alabama.
We just, again, challenged our athletes to go out there and raise their game up and to play to that level, and there was some very positive things came out of our first two games. Defensively, I thought we played really well. I thought we flew around. I thought we hit people. We answered the question about our physical toughness with some of the hits that were made, and I was pleased with the way our defense competed. Offensively, some individuals turned in tremendous performances in our first two games, and I think from an athlete standpoint, that was the key out of the first two games, is that we realized in a hurry that we had some people on this football team that could play at any level.
UConn football under the lights at Memorial Stadium returned in 1994, and Husky fans turned out in record numbers.
We had our first night game since 1989 this year, and it was excellent. We played Troy State to come out of the locker room and to go into the stands where it was filled and the people were enthusiastic and into it and had been tailgating all day. And then all of a sudden we went out there, and it was a great emotional feeling for our football team, a great football environment.
Connecticut and head coach Skip Holtz chalked up their first victory in 1994 against Yankee Conference rival Richmond, posting a 36-21 win. In that game, UConn senior tailback Ed Long ran for 136 yards, and in the process became Connecticut's career rushing leader.
Eddie Long came into the season as a starter and had high expectations for the year. He injured his shoulder and missed the last half of the football season, but early in the year when he had the opportunity, he really had a tremendous year for us. He rushed for over 100 yards at Troy State and rushed for 130-some yards at Richmond, and at that time became the all-time leading rusher in Connecticut football history. I think Eddie has an awful lot of talent, his ability to make people miss. He runs the inside zone play very well, and he's explosive enough to take the play the distance.
You let that guy run.
Don't flinch. Never let losing enter your mind. These were two trademarks for the 1994 Connecticut football team.
Let's go! Let's go!
With the philosophy being don't flinch, no matter what happens, never let losing enter your mind. As we go into it and we're in a football game, don't ever let losing into your mind. And as we go through it, that's part of the don't flinch philosophy. At Yale, we found ourselves in a hole at halftime because of the turnovers we had in the first half. We came out in the second half and talked about, even though we were losing, all I want to do is go out and play our football game, and let's go put it together, and don't ever let losing into your mind, or don't ever let think about we're going to be stopped. And we went out in the first two drives of the second half. We went right down the field and ended up scoring.
Hands it to Nook. Big hole up the middle. Here's Nook at the 5. Nook in. Touchdown, UConn. Rogers throws left. He's got Connolly open at the 5, and he's in. Touchdown, UConn. A perfectly executed play as Rogers faked the pitch left. Connolly was wide open at the 5-yard line. Skip Holtz and the Huskies established a Connecticut single-season attendance record, as better than 71,000 fans enjoyed college football at Memorial Stadium in stores during the 1994 season. Bailey drives back left. He's got Reed open. Reed wide open in the secondary. Touchdown! Touchdown, UConn. A perfectly thrown ball. Huskies peel back, and the kick is blocked by Mike Walker, and he falls on it. Touchdown, UConn. Mike Walker blocked the kick. Hands it off to Connolly off the right side. First down yardage, and Morey bursts into the secondary. Here's Connolly at the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, UConn.
One of the things we said when we came here was we'd have a chance to win when enough people cared about what happened to this program. And I think this season in 1994 is a classic example of how the people in the state of Connecticut rallied around this football program. This year, we set a single-season attendance record at the University of Connecticut. We were number 1 in the Yankee Conference in the New England Division in attendance. We were number 3 in the Yankee Conference overall in attendance, and we were in the top 20 in the country in attendance this year at Connecticut, which was exciting and nice to see. And I know from a player standpoint, they appreciate having the opportunity to run out on that football field with a full house and the crowd being full and everybody being into it and as excited as they were this season.
Let's play 30 more minutes of football!
In 1994, the Skip Holtz-led Huskies displayed a balanced offensive attack. 7 different athletes scoring rushing touchdowns, and 8 athletes scoring TDs through the air.
Here we go. Nice catch.
We're trying to utilize all the talent that's on the football field. I don't want to be just a run-oriented football team. I don't want to be just a pass-oriented football team. We're trying to get the athletes of football in the wide-open field and give them the opportunity to let some of their athletic ability take over and give them the opportunity to make plays.
You just keep going. That's good. You just keep going.
Watch out for the hitman. Watch out.
In 1994, the Connecticut defense adopted a 3-and-out philosophy.
Every time we go out on the football field, we want to go 3-and-out. Now, I know that's not realistic, and you're never going to have a game where you go 3-and-out every single series. But when you do go 3, if you go 3 downs and they make a first down, the same philosophy is 3-and-out, 3-and-out. And as the season went on, I heard the defense saying that more and more on the football field, saying, here we go 3-and-out. Even though they might have started and maybe have driven 40 yards, the theory and the philosophy, the challenge was still 3-and-out. Here we go, and a bend but don't break. Just don't let him in the end zone.
He looks, he throws it upfield. It's intercepted by Holland at the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, and he's tripped up.
Great job, dude. Great job.
The Huskies use their special teams as an offensive weapon. Rush and it's blocked. Returning block punts for touchdowns on 3 different occasions. End zone and in. Touchdown, UConn.
Can you kick it? Can you kick it? Kick it.
Another special teams weapon was junior punter place kicker David DeArmond.
David DeArmond will attempt a 52-yard field goal.
Who provided UConn with the best kicking game in the Yankee Conference and one of the best in the nation, as he led the league in punting with better than a 40-yard average and converted 10 of 14 field goals, including a UConn school record 9 in a row during one portion of the season.
In our special teams, we want people that are going to fly around and hit people and have fun and have some enthusiasm about them and everything else. And I think it was very evident that we had that this year. Our special teams played outstanding in 1994.
We're going to get this ball back, and we got to score some more points.
Skip Holtz and the Huskies came into the 1994 season knowing that the seniors had to play the best football of their careers. And the team was led by a trio of captains that did just that. Number 31, inside linebacker Paul Zanker. Number 44, outside linebacker Damon Lewis. And number 18, wide receiver Brian Reed. Play clock is running. Reed looks, Reed puts it up in the air. He's got now no bid. Touchdown! Brian Reed on the fake punt play. Monte Nowden was wide open in the corner of the end zone. He could have called for a fair catch by the time the ball came down, and UConn leads it 20-13. In accepting the head coaching position at the University of Connecticut, it marked a return home for Skip Holtz, a return to the place of his birth in Storrs, Connecticut, and it also allowed for another return to UConn. This one for Skip's father, Notre Dame head football coach Lou Holtz, who served as a UConn assistant in the 1960s and visited Storrs during homecoming 1994 and the Huskies game against Rhode Island.
He hasn't been here since 1965 when he was an assistant here. He had the opportunity to come back to our Rhode Island game. He addressed the team, and it was nice for me to have my father have the opportunity to come back here. And it was the first game that he had the opportunity to see me as a head coach. I can remember walking off the field, and just before I left the field at the end of the gate there was my father. And I can remember giving him a hug and telling him I love him. Thank you for coming out and seeing me coach.
The 1994 season was a season full of new challenges for Skip Holtz and his team.
We talk about the challenge that's available here to us at the University of Connecticut about what we're trying to do in winning the 1AA national championship on the football field, and the challenges that are presented to us on a play-in and play-out basis and on a week-in and week-out basis, about rising up and meeting the challenge, about the challenge or the opportunity to make a play.
Here's Bailey, drops back, he's got time, he's looked, he hits, he throws long downfield for Nowden, he's got it, he's open at the 40, here's Nowden at the 30, Nowden at the 20, Nowden at the 10, Nowden at the 5, touchdown UConn! 80 yards, Monte Nowden!
Okay, here we go, give me T.
In 1994, Skip Holtz began charting the course for a highly successful football future at the University of Connecticut.
the philosophy we're looking for at Connecticut football is just to get people who want to play, are willing to work hard, are willing to do what is expected, and are willing to pay attention to the details and the little things that make a difference. And the people that get those things done are the young men and the athletes that are going to be able to step on the football field and help us win.
Out to the right. Looks, he's got Mike Walker open. He dives and touchdown! Diving catch by Mike Walker. Here comes the Huskies on the rush, and it's blocked. Bouncing free, rolling towards the end zone and in. Touchdown, UConn. Rogers calls signals, fakes in the line. Looks, he's got Edwards open in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, UConn. Here's Rogers. Sprints out to the right side. He looks, he steps back, he's got a man open, and it's caught by Naughton for a touchdown. Looks, throws for the end zone for Walker on a timing play. He's got it for a touchdown. Why put it on another day? And stand in our way. Going for it all. Marching out and has it at the 40-yard line. Marching out and in a foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, Connecticut. What are you waiting for? The new ticket